Hey guys, welcome to the Introvert Dating Success Show. I'm your host, HarryWilmington. And so today, we're going to be answering a question from a guy that wants to know if he's going to bore a woman to death in the process of dating because he is an introvert, she is an extrovert, and so the fear is that over time, his introverted personality may start to seem monotonous and boring and eventually scare her away. And so I'm sure this is a problem that a lot of you introverts face because I myself thought this back in the day. As a guy that is now, for the most part, dated mostly surprisingly extroverted women, I can assure you that extroverted women will definitely date introverted men. But I want to go through his message just to kind of answer some of his points that he was asking about and give him the reassurance that in the long run, he'll be okay if he's mindful of a few important things. All right. For more of these shows, by the way, you can go to introvertdatingsuccess.com. You can also go to my YouTube channel where you should subscribe, youtube.com/HarryWilmington. Right now, we're doing 25 of these shows in a row per day up until Christmas, at which point it'll be the 300th episode. That's totally awesome. And I'm taking 2 weeks off. So in the meantime, go to the website, sign up for my video coaching newsletter to receive a free copy of my ebook and audiobook, No Girls For You, the ultimate guide to losing the girl of your dreams. Go there also to get discounts on my various programs, such as the Smart Digital Dating Program and my Introvert Dating Success Academy. Also, guys, if you want a question answered on one of these shows, you can write to me at harrywilmington@gmail.com. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this guy's question. Like I said, I'll stop along the way to answer a few things and give some commentary on a few things. So he says, I recently started talking to a girl I met on Bumble. We have a lot in common and have great conversations. Our first date went extremely well. We went out for lunch, got ice cream, and talked in a park for hours. We also held hands and had a couple of makeout sessions. We definitely want to see each other again soon. This is, by the way, a great date, okay? Went out to lunch, got a simple little food, so it didn't cost them a whole lot of money, and they spent the majority of their time talking. And I'm gonna tell you, especially if you dated all during the pandemic when all you could do was pretty much talk to a person, if you're able to talk and have a long, lingering conversation with somebody and not get bored and not run out of things to say, that really is like a true test of how well you'll be able to do long-term for the most part, because overall, the majority of your relationship is going to be talking. Like, yeah, going out on date nights here and there is fun and watch movies together is great, but the majority of the time is going to be spent talking to each other. If you can't talk to the person, then you probably should not be dating them long term because it's going to feel like pulling teeth and it's going to be torturous, okay? Also, kudos to this guy for making out with this woman on a first date. What I tell you guys, it doesn't take a long time to get a woman to where she wants to kiss you, okay? You just have to know the method to the madness, know how to build up comfortability on that first date to be able to make her feel like she wants to do this thing that you want to do also, which is kiss her, okay? If you need help with that, go to the website, check out my Introvert Dating Success Program to really solidify the sequence of kissing that you should do in order to get to that point, all right? Continuing on, he says, I've always been more of an introvert. I don't get out too much and only have 2 to 3 friends that I hang out with regularly. I'm often described as cool, laid back, and nerdy. Well, those are perfectly great things. I mean, most introverts don't really have more than 2 to 3. A very high number for them would be 4, maybe 5 really, really close friends. And you know what? That's totally fine. Because what I found is this. What's interesting is this. As an introvert, even though I have a smaller number of friends, I have friends that I've been connected with for 10, 20, 30 years between middle school, high school, college, and then living out here in California. So I have friends that live in other states that I haven't seen in forever, but like if I call them up now and say, hey, I want to come see you, I can see them, okay? And I have found that a lot of my extroverted friends, and more importantly, a lot of the extroverted women that I've dated, have not had friendships that have lasted that long. So there's something to be said about you being an introvert is actually a positive, because what she's gonna see is when you get friends, you are loyal to those friends for a long time. And if he's gonna be loyal enough to stick around with them, he's gonna be loyal enough to stick around with me. And that might not be an experience that she would get dating an extroverted guy, okay? Continuing on, he says, the girl I'm dating seems to be pretty extroverted. She has a large circle of friends and is always on the go. We both have great careers, but I think she may be a little more established in hers, while I am still trying to get to where I really want to be. She has been very encouraging with my career goals, though. And what you'll find is this, is that there's this myth that guys have bought into, that women want a guy that's fully established and has a lot of money coming in. But what I have found is that more often than not, women want to see a guy with ambition. So you could be a guy that's just kind of doing okay financially right now. But if she sees that you have goals and dreams to go beyond where you're currently at, all women really want to see is that you're willing to grow. And that, because they're going to see that as like you're willing to grow in your professional life, which means you're also going to be willing to grow and make necessary changes in your relationship life as she starts to evolve. Because as she gets older, her needs are going to change, what she desires is going to change. And so having a partner that she can see is willing to evolve. And the first example she's going to get of that is seeing you wanting to evolve in your professional life. Her being able to see that is going to actually give her assurance that this could work long term because she sees you're willing to do work and put in the work for the things that you truly care for. Okay? And that's always going to parallel to her. Continuing on, he says, I really like her and I would love the idea of turning this into a relationship. Well, it's too early on right now to think about that, okay? And as I've said on the show before, your goal should be with each date to just make sure you're showing her the best possible time that you can and that you're handling each date in the moment in the way you need to handle it. As you do more of those dates correctly, it will build up for her to where she's gonna have a fuller picture of what you're gonna be like, at which point she will say, hey, I've now had 10 or 12 good dates. I've had 3 months of dating him and I see the pattern of how reliable he is and how capable he is of treating me right. So now I want a relationship. So you focus in the moment on doing these various dates right, and she will be the one to focus on when it's good time to be in a relationship. Continuing on. He says, my only concern is that my introverted personality would bore her over time. I don't have many friends and I don't get out too much. Well, understand this, guy. Ultimately, it's not about your introvertedness and your personality being an introvert being boring, okay? Because the thing is, you took her on a date, you talked to her, you took her out for ice cream, she had a good time, okay? Most women really get off on a guy being able to talk to them, being able to listen to them, being able to ask them for their opinions. And those things are very fulfilling to women, okay? So if you're doing that, you're probably doing more than most guys are doing. Just giving her the feeling of being heard and understood and listened to and talked to will carry you, okay? Now, what I don't want you to do is think that you got to be like these extroverted guys and like, I got to jump from a cliff and I got to be out there all the time and party, Because here's what I've found in terms of dating extroverted women, okay? Is that extroverted women, just like in the way we recharge when we're by being by ourselves, they recharge by being out with people, okay? But at some point, their social battery runs low, at which point they want to be able to then go to their little corner and just kind of sit for a bit until they're ready to go back out again, okay? And so what they actually like is an introverted partner that's going to respect the times when they actually need times to themselves to sit, because you as an introvert recognize that you still need that. So most extroverted guys that a woman would date are probably going to be like, no, babe, we need to be hanging out all the time. We need to be doing things nonstop. We need whatever. And at the point that she gets tired, well, she's tired being an extrovert at that point in time, but he's still trying to be an extrovert. And now they're having clashes. He wants to go out and she just needs like a 5-minute break. He's like, no, babe, we got to go out, whatever. Versus you being like, okay, babe, go have time at your office. Go have time with your friends. Go, sit and watch TV without me. Have a good time. Do you know how refreshing that is to most women, especially extroverted women, that they have a guy that's going to allow them to have the time when they need it? Like, that's huge. Now, in the same token, you as an introvert have to understand that you're going to have conversations with her about what being an introvert means and about you needing your alone time and not taking it personally and not always being a social butterfly. But that said, a relationship is give and take. So just like she's going to have times where she sacrifices being able to go out with you because you need your alone time to kind of sit at home and work on whatever you're working on or just need your space, there's going to be times where she's going to want to go out and you may feel like in that moment, well, I just kind of want to sit to myself or whatever, and you're going to have to suck it up and go. Now, it ain't mean you got to go for like 4 or 5 hours at a time. You might be able to have that negotiation where it's like, okay, you know what, babe, I'll go out for a couple of hours and then I want to get back home. But recognize that you as an introvert, you are perfectly in your right to be able to want your alone time. But in a relationship, it is give and take. It is not fair to want to have introvert time all the time. It's just not realistic, okay? So recognize that if you want her to give you your introverted time at times, you're going to have to be able to break out of your shell at times and go out every so often, even at times when you don't want to, okay? As long as you're being respected overall in terms of what you need as an introvert, then you got to give a little give to her at times when she really needs you to be there for her in an extroverted moment that you may not have planned for that day. And then being an introvert, you have hobbies. As an introvert, we typically are cool being alone, quote unquote, with the person we're with. Like, even if we need space here and there, it's almost that thing of like, you get with them and you become so comfortable that like even being with them still feels like being alone, which is a great thing, okay? So to that end, most of your dates, are going to be just you and her. You don't have to try to plan a bunch of group dates or group outings, because more often than not, it's going to just be you and her going to a dinner, going to a movie, going to a walk in the park, et cetera, okay? So you can plan outings where it's still just you two, so it's not causing you to have to use up all this introverted energy, okay? But recognize that if you're dating somebody, they're giving you the privilege of their time. Realistically, you cannot be sitting on the couch at home all the time watching movies. You cannot be sitting there wanting to play video games with them all the time. That is not realistic, okay? So if you're dating them, plan dates. The great part about the first part of the dating phase, though, is that, again, you should not be trying to think you got to see them 4, 5, 6 times a week. You should be planning out 1, at the most 2 dates per week when you first start dating them. So you're still not using up a whole bunch of your introverted energy to date them early on, because you're only offering 1 or 2 days, okay? There's gonna be a point in that, as she starts to get more comfortable with you, that she's gonna start suggesting maybe a 3rd day or a 4th day, or you'll have times where she'll just invite you over and you guys will just be on the couch watching movies, and that's fine too. As long as you keep it to, like, you should have in your head that you want to at least plan 1 good date outing a week. That's outside of your guys' houses, doing something out in the world where it's just you two, so it's still on a level kind of introverted intimacy, and it's not a whole bunch of other people, okay? Beyond that, if she wants more of your time, as you start to date her more and more, you'll start to go over her house more, you'll see her more, and that's totally fine, but you'll still have introverted moments even within that. Like, you'll go over her place, and then maybe she has to work on something in her office, and you're out in the living room watching TV. You're still, though you're in her place, having introverted time. So recognize, as you dive more into the relationship, you're gonna start building in times to have your introverted time, even with you're alone with her, okay? But that doesn't mean you have to be a complete bore, okay? All you have to do, basically, honestly, is just plan some new stuff. Hey, babe, let's go to this new restaurant. Oh my God, it's new. Hey, babe, let's go on this new hiking path. Oh my God, a new hiking path. Like, bringing new ideas and activities into a relationship will keep it jovial and lively, okay? It ain't gotta be, I said, you ain't gotta plan like a 5-star parade with like fireworks every single time, or like a 5-star date all the time to keep it not boring, okay? Continuing. He says, I don't have many friends and I don't get out too much. Recognize, again, in a relationship, you're going to most likely see each other anyway. But the key here is this, is that at the times where she wants to go out with her friends, she may think early on, well, I want to go out with them, but I don't want to hurt his feelings because I know he doesn't want to necessarily go out, so I'll stay with him. You, as the introvert, have to encourage your girlfriend or person you're dating to continue to go out and see their friends. Because what she needs to know is that you, as an introvert, you may want your alone time at times when she wants to go hang out, but you're not gonna judge her or blame her or make her feel guilty for wanting to hang out a bit more than you do, okay? Because that's not fair to her. So just like you want her to accept your introverted tendencies, you have to accept that she's gonna probably wanna go out more, and that's perfectly fine. You cannot have a jealous bone in your body though. Like, if you're a guy that's gonna be like, well, I wanna be here with her and I'm jealous that she's other people, then this is not gonna work, okay? So be fair to her just like you want her to be fair to you. Continuing, he says, at the same time, I think I would really appreciate dating someone like her. I think it would allow me to come out of my shell a little more and experience new things and people. What are your thoughts? Well, yeah, and that's the thing. When you come together in a relationship, both people are supposed to bring stuff to the table that the other person doesn't have. So as an introvert, you're going to present to her the idea that, hey, it's perfectly fine to have time to yourself. If you have friends that want to invite you out and you're kind of like, I don't really feel it today, it's perfectly fine to say no to those things and recognize that you'll see them later and that ultimately you got to do what's best for you in time, okay? And then same thing for her. She's going to bring to the table, hey, you know what? You don't have to always sit at home to have a good time. You can go out and try these new things and explore these new avenues and, God forbid, meet new people and not be so shelled off and actually still have a good time. And I've been like that. I've had women I've dated where they'll take me out to, on a couple's date to meet some of their friends. And I'm like, as an introvert, I'm like, I don't want to meet any more people. I'm almost 40 years old. I've met all the friends I need to meet. I don't need to meet new people. But I found if I go out and meet new people, I don't have new people that I connect with on different levels with different activities and different ideas, and I actually end up having a fun time, okay? But if you're not even open to that, then you're gonna be missing out on some great things that an extroverted person could actually bring to the table, all right? So hopefully this helps you out, and if you need more help in your dating life, feel free to go to the website introvertdatingsuccess.com. Check out my programs, which I now have a discount on for the holidays, my Smart Digital Dating Program that teaches you the ins and outs of how to do online dating effectively, as well as my Introvert Dating Success Academy, which will take you through the ins and outs of how to meet, greet, attract, and land the girlfriend of your dreams while still getting your precious alone time. If you want to show support for this show, a couple things you can do. One, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/HarryWilmington, and you can send me a Cash App at $HarryWilmington. And of course, as always, guys, this show is ultimately about you, and I would love to be able to answer your question during one of these 25 shows. So if you have a question about your dating life that you want to ask, write to me at HarryWilmington@gmail.com. That's all I got for today. I'm Harry Wilmington, and I'll catch you guys on the next show. I'm out. Peace.